Next on the agenda is we're going to be talking about the WWE 2K franchise. Now, if you've been living under a rock, then what's the latest news is that WWE 2K21 has been officially cancelled for this year. So for the first time,
yay! Let's all rejoice.
For the first time in a long time, I don't think probably it's the first time ever that there will not be an annual WWE video game, not the simulation type. So, but there is going to be a game coming out in replacement, which is WWE Battlegrounds. Yeah, Battlegrounds. Yeah.
I'm actually looking forward to that game. I'm not gonna lie. I did like WWE All Stars.
Okay, but yeah, that is right up your alley. I did always wanted them to do like another arcade type of game, similar to like Here Comes the Pain and all that. Obviously, this is way OTT than Here Comes the Pain, but I wanted something a bit more fast paced. And yeah, this might. I'll still get it. It should be, hopefully, as long as it's bug free and all that stuff. Then yeah, I'll give it a breather. So yeah, obviously because of that.
An arcade game.
Say again?
You considered Here Comes the Pain more arcadey?
It was.
I think Shut Your Mouth is the one he's on about. Is that the one where you can climb the fist and stuff?
Yeah, Here Comes the Pain and thing, because you could still do over the top moves. They had the crazy drum and bass type of music playing in the background. You had like it was way faster than 2K, way faster. So. Yeah, I
think once you got to SmackDown versus Raw 2006, that's when the game engines became very realistic and very real.
And then once 2K took it over, it was even more realistic. And yeah, I do miss the arcade types, even back from No Mercy or Attitude and all that kind of stuff. I do miss that aesthetic. They should have two different versions, an arcade one and a simulation one. So yeah, obviously since the cancellation of 2K21, it's given the development team 2 years to actually come up with a much better game than the awesome WWE 2K20 game that came out last year.
My God!
So if you haven't seen my Let's Plays on that, you guys, I played alongside Mr. Rhymes and Rides. I put a link up on here. You'll see it flash up. Hilarious Let's Play sessions. But yeah, it was since they've got a 2 year span to come out with make up for the madness of 2K20. We put together at least top 5 features we would love to see in this game. Rides has got 5 or 3 or 5. Mr. Rams has got 3 or 5, and I've just got 3 or 4. I couldn't think of a big one. There's so many obvious ones.
But I have a whole bunch of like stuff here or stuff up top, but then it's like if you guys go first and get an idea
of
the kind of things, and then it's like, okay, we can just dive into it, because I know there's always going to be like, although I can sit here and be like, oh yeah, I can make a list of the 5 things I want, but I know that once I kind of see where you guys are coming from, then I know that, okay, my mind will open up to a whole bunch of other things I want to see in the games, or would like to see in the games.
That's fine. So yeah, if Big Man Rise would like to lead the floor,
hey, you don't put him on the spot in it.
I'm cool. Like I said, I got mine written there on the screen.
It's got the good, man. Going. All right, here we go. So number 1.
Yeah, number 1, go on.
This is in no specific order, by the way, but the first one is that I'd like to see commentary be a lot more smoother. If you look at games like FIFA, for example, not that it's perfect on there, but it's not like, I feel with WWE games, the past few WWE games, it's like sometimes you get repetition, like he said that 5 minutes earlier in the same match. Sometimes it's a complete mistake, like you do the suplex, you go, oh, powerbomb through the table, and it's like, what? But I also almost don't like, I know they're limited because it's not real life, but I don't like how, like, maybe Michael Cole might be saying a point and then someone goes for a pin and they just cut off what he was saying. Like, I get it in real life, you would cut off what you're saying, like, oh my god, it's a pin, but it's real, it's realistic. Whereas there, it's almost like you've just stopped. And I think even in football games, they kind of go back to what they were saying and stuff. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
100%.
It could be more smooth and fluid. And what I would also like to see on that same point, still number 1, is different commentators for different shows.
100%.
So if Michael Cole is on SmackDown, put whoever's supposed to be on Raw. Like, don't just have the same.
They did do that
standard
previously.
on every show.
They did do that. I think it was. They did do that previously. I remember back in the SmackDown versus Raw games. There was definitely JR and Jerry Lawler, and then there was Michael Cole and I can't remember the other.
Yeah, even on SmackDown versus Raw 2007.
Yeah, and it sounds like they copy and paste a lot of the commentating from previous WWE games to this one. It's very lazy. Even though they always tweet saying, "Oh, I've just been in the studio, like recording new lines." Nigga, no, you haven't. It's always the same.
Or they're saying the exact same lines. They're just revoicing them with new names or whatever.
Yeah.
To their credit, they do go back. So that original point that they were trying to make before the pin cover, they will eventually go back to it, but it just doesn't sound fluid like how you said.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's almost no knowledge that they got interrupted.
Yeah.
So
exactly. Yeah.
Next one is basically the ruling on the whole intergender thing, right? We've seen that that's changed over the years in the games and on television. But listen, like, there's a few things here, right? Just look. I want to be able to have an intergender tag match. I want to be able to interact with the manager without ruining the match and get a DQ or whatever. And we're all adults. Like, we see women wrestle, they get busted open too. That if you're gonna, what message are you sending if it's like men can bleed but women can't? Like, it's just a bit weird. Like, it's just, I get it in terms of being TV friendly and kids and women are supposed to be this and all that, but it's just make it equal. And I'm not gonna lie, I want to give the RKO to Nia Jax or whatever. Like, you know, like, it's just like, not condoning violence against women, but it's a flipping video game. It's fantasy, isn't it? Like, you know, dislike. And the thing is, you can do cool stuff. I remember back in the day on, I think it was Shut Your Mouth, the one with Hogan and Rock.
Yes.
Either that one or Here Comes the Pain. I think it was Shut Your Mouth. But I remember I would just challenge myself. I'd choose Kurt Angle and I'd be Stacy Keibler, and my mission would be to make Kurt Angle tap out. I'd be playing the match for like half an hour, hardest match of my life, but I'd do it because I just like killing his foot or something like that. And it's like, can't do that. What if I want to be Bliss and beat Braun Strowman? Like, let me do it. Like, it's like, you know?
Like set the challenges.
Oh my god! Yeah,
point of a video game, wacky stuff, right?
Yeah. I mean, to their credit, I must say in 2K20 they did have the mixed match challenge in there. But obviously,
they had the mixed matches or whatever. But that's like
that was on the actual TV. But like you said, it can't be
interact though.
Yeah, you can't interact. Yes, that was the thing about it. So it was intergender to an extent, but yeah, it was nowhere near that. Like what you said. But
maybe you can ask this question: if you're a woman and you're in the tag team match, but you hit the man on the ropes, nothing happens, right? But if it's the other way around, you get DQ'd.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
So what? You know what I mean? That's wrong. That's wrong. Right. What kind of message are you sending?
No, I totally agree. Totally agree. But yeah, next one.
I don't know. The other thing, just bring the scramble match back. Put that in there, like have a scramble match. I used to love that stuff, man. The 20 minutes you can get the title. We don't even need to get into it. That was just a sick game mode. Full stop. Right?
That was a good match type. I don't know why they stopped it. They only had it for one pay-per-view. But they should that match. I think it was only one, wasn't it?
No, it's two matches on the same pay-per-view. I think.
Yeah. So, but then as I said, they only had it at like one night at one pay-per-view. But I do genuinely think that was, in my head, like it's a solid match.
They did it at WrestleMania years ago for the Hardcore Championship. It was actually technically the first scramble match. They just didn't call it a scramble match. Same concept. Time limit, and I just remember Taz had someone in the Taz mission, but they didn't tap out in time. Yeah. So it was perfect, man. I used to love that on the game. I remember the Hardcore Championship. You could go on the subway and stuff.
Oh my god, yeah. So didn't you like ride a bike or drive a car at one point? You could like drive a taxi or something in one of them. One of them, yeah. And you could like
go in a helicopter.
Get in the car, the helicopter. There was like all sorts going on.
So commentary smoother, intergender stuff, scramble. So I got two more. One that I've always said since as far as I can remember, have real-time updates, right?
Yep.
Yes.
NBA do it, right? So if, for example, Apollo Crews is injured right now, right? He's injured on the game. Obviously, this is more applicable to stuff like universe mode or whatever, manager mode, but make that happen. Do you know what I mean? Especially if you're trading superstars, right? It's draft. This superstar has now moved to SmackDown from Raw, make him a SmackDown superstar in the game. Like updates like that, I think they can do it because proven they can do updates. Because when they make the game and then later on a big star comes to the company, they've then quickly made that superstar and said, "Oh, this is an update. You can now download this superstar after the game has been finalized." So they can do real-time updates if they try. And like I said, 2K do it for NBA. So yeah, I think that would be really cool.
I mean, they do like real time to the extent of things like, so even when you're still playing 2K19 now, the road to glory now is Money in the Bank based. So they'll do like little real time things like that. But I get what you're saying though. Like you're saying that like, you know, so right now they should have like, they should have like the real time roster and stuff like that. But then do you think that they should make it so that is the be all end all, or do you think that you can have that as you can turn that feature on and off? So if you want that feature, that's how your game is. But if you do like the fantasy aspect of it, then you can turn it off.
Either or, I would have said just keep it on because you still can then introduce your fantasy to it. But yeah, I suppose have the option, turn it off if you want, because if a superstar is injured and you can't use him and you want to use him in your fantasy, then you should be allowed to have that option. So but I think at the very least having it as an option would be pretty cool. It just makes the wrestling game more real and gives it more legitimacy. The very last thing that I would say is just being better interaction with animation. And what I mean specifically is being able to interrupt. So like, for example, some occasions you might be going for a suplex and then the third person in the match might just punch and you'll drop that person on the suplex, right? The animation doesn't continue. That's cool, but take it a step further. Like I've always tried to, sometimes I'll attempt to do it knowing it won't work. Like someone's on the top rope, if you get up and you're able to go for a clothesline or a big boot, you should be able to interrupt and hit that person in the air. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
A kind of like a Ricochet Adam Cole moment, like if they're jumping down on you, you should
like, and it doesn't have to be its own animation, because I know you can do that. You can do a finisher to someone, but I don't mean reset it into its own animation. I just mean like a natural, like you just go for a punch. The person who's diving should feel that punch, but instead what actually happens is that person, even if he doesn't connect with you from flying, he will act like you never touched him. Like, have more interactions where you can just live in real life. If you hit someone while they're doing something, they feel it. You know, just that's what I would say. Just more interaction on the animation. And those are my 5 things that I would love to see in the new game.
I'll throw in a couple. My first one that I would love to see would be when we play online, I want to see actual blood. Because for some reason, blood is turned off online, but you can obviously beat someone to a bloody pulp when you're playing the game offline.
Right.
They should have the option to turn it on or off, not just automatically turn it off. It just doesn't make any sense because, I played loads of matches online and, I don't know. For some reason, I just think it just adds to the aesthetic of if you had like a very good back and forth match, that actually adds to it, and I think that would be pretty cool. The second one would be I'd like to see the return of the I don't know if you guys played it, but GM mode, manager mode. But instead, obviously, because general managers are non-existent, I think instead of obviously proving which brand is stronger, I think they should do it and then see if you can outdo a rival company. Obviously, the company who shouldn't be named, but namely say AEW. So you have the control of creative, and then obviously, you could find the storylines, how long they are, how short they are, all this stuff. And if you put a better program than the rival company, then obviously your ratings go up, and obviously your respect within the company, all that kind of stuff. Try and use AEW, but obviously don't say their name. And then like your mission is to make sure that we beat them in the ratings, then and become the overall ratings king and buy them out like WCW did, all that crazy stuff. What they're kind of doing now, basically. But instead of obviously competing amongst the brands, do it with a company. So third one would be better animations with better better animations and better interactions with tables, ladders, and chairs. So yeah, 110%. I would say like they should have more innovative ways of using chairs or ladders. Like if I have a chair, instead of only grappling or striking with them, I could just throw it at someone and they actually collide with them. There's no glitchiness. They can get busted open with it. If I suplex someone on a ladder, even though it's not properly set up, if it's just in the middle of the ring, they should interact with that as well. It doesn't just slide off underneath the ring. Just better reactions to the tables and better interactions with them. Fourth one would be just for fun's sake. Obviously, they put in big head mode. In order to celebrate 2K20, they should put a mode where it's just completely buggy. just for entertainment's sake. Just have similar bugs that plagued 2K20 just for fun.
2K20 mode.
2K20 mode.
Yeah, 2K20
just for
mode.
Banter. That would sell copies. I don't care what anyone said. That would be
just the buggy mode. You have to try to win a game with all the bugs.
Everyone's going around in circles. Freaking everyone's just disappearing into the ring. All kinds of shit. 2K20 mode. Fuck it. Whatever. That would be hilarious.
Okay, I dig it.
And then for the fifth one, I didn't have time to do a fifth one, but I can't think of any at the minute. I might throw it in there if I hear something. But yeah.
Oh, okay then. So stuff that I wanted to see in the game. Okay, so number one for me was obviously going to be GM mode, which you just mentioned. This is probably one of my favorite modes. I liked the how basic and how hard it was in 2006 to play it on that game, because they had like next to no features and all of that. So that one was genuinely hard to play, but clocking that or trying to clock that was like probably one of the most fun times I've had playing a WWE game. 2007 was a bit easier to manage and a bit easier to do. It didn't take me long to do that one, and all the features and stuff like that. Still was one of the games that the reason my 360 still sits on my thing now was that I would occasionally go back and play 2007 mode. Number two, so again, I said a lot of my features will be like little aesthetic things and whatnot. So you guys saying animations and stuff like that, right? So I'm saying, although in the past since 2006, I would say, they incorporated that whole thing of, so when you would have a match with a manager, the manager walks out with you, but the manager has like pre-done animations. So certain entrances would have it so that your manager just stands at the top of the ramp. Certain entrances, your manager would walk down with you. Certain entrances, their managers are at the ring or whatever. But then they made it now, so nowadays the manager actually walks with you to the ring or whatever, but they have a standard animation. So my thing would be that I think that you should be able to set, like, you know how they have that thing where you set your promo mood or mannerisms or whatever.
Yeah.
So your promo, aggressive, creepy, whatever you want to do. They should have it so you set your manager mode. So your manager mode will be like, if you are a creepy superstar and that's your creepy promos, then your manager aesthetic is creepy. So whoever you're coming out with, you should see a person doing like creepy little mannerisms or something like that.
Yeah.
Or, mind you, if you're the person like myself who just sets an easy creation entrance, like I haven't got time for all the other stuff. I just set my easy one because my character is always Triple H aesthetic, so that's how I come out. So then it could be that would be my mannerisms as a manager. So my guy would still walk out with a water bottle or something, and I would be Triple H mannerisms coming to the ring as a manager. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just like a little detail like that, just kind of for me adds more realism to it. So all my managers aren't just doing the same walk down to the ring and stuff. Like how you see Big Show walk to the ring shouldn't be how you see Mandy Rose walk to the ring as your manager. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It should be different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that.
And then so that was number two. Number three for me is, okay, I think the quality of how the game looks in terms of your arenas and whatnot has gone downhill since, I'm going to say, not 2K, maybe 2K18, because I don't know if you like, okay, because I would look at like when you watch their entrances and you look at their screens or whatever it's supposed to be. Some of the screens are not screens; they're just like the box will appear when your video is playing. So on NXT, it's not even a screen. It's just so when it glitches out, sometimes like my 2K19 will sometimes glitch out and the video won't play. Or if you've got a custom entrance with a custom video,
yeah,
the video sometimes doesn't load, and in which case if you're coming on NXT, it will just show the curtain, like there's not even a screen there.
Yeah.
And whatnot. Yeah. And then also on 2K20, a lot of the arenas have it so that you can see through the screens. So the screens are like, so they made it so that the screens are meant to be like the little fine LEDs, which I know they are in real life, but when we watch it on TV, we don't see that it's fine stripped LEDs until we're dirt close.
Yeah.
Like it shouldn't be that I'm halfway through the entrance and I can see that they tried to put the thin strips to make the LED boards kind of thing. So just more kind of like make things look a bit more crisp and a bit more like, I guess, thought out in that respect. I would say I liked the introduction of going into the crowd. I did think that they should have, I guess, not opened it up more, but in the same breath opened it up more, because in the crowd, when you walk through the crowd, you can only walk like, you can only use the top part. So you can walk to the top right of the ring, or you can walk to the top left of the ring, and then make your way to either bit, or make your way to the stage. But when you make your way to the stage, depending on the arena type, then you can only stay on the floor. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you have a ramp, then, or if you have it so it's all floor level, then you can walk wherever you want. If you have it so there's a ramp or something like that, if it's an old school ramp, you can't climb it, or you can't even jump off of it if it's an old school ramp. But the new ones you can, and all that. So it's just just little things like that I would want to be there, more fluidity in terms of like, so when you move around and whatnot, doing that. And what's something else? Okay, so you were talking about commentary, and whatnot. For me, I've said from day one or whatever, or from when they started being more interactive with TV and everything like that, or even with the network. Ooh, is he okay?
Oh wow, he died.
Yeah. I've been saying like from so from when network got introduced, or when they're doing anything on TV, I've always wanted the ability to turn off the commentary.
Okay, so you just hit the crowd.
Yeah, and I could be fine with that, because admittedly for me, fair enough, on the games, the commentary often isn't bad, because I guess the commentary is just a pre-done tape and it just reacts with the match and whatnot. So I can live with that, but then in the same breath, if I have the option to turn it off, that would be great. But also in terms of like, even on TV, like you should definitely have that option, like on the network, to watch things back and turn the commentary off, because some of the things that they come out with, whew. But then mind you, I'm watching old school tapes right now. Like I'm making my way through 2003 right now, and oh my god, some of the things that they say on commentary, you're just like, good lord. Like you're like, whew. And even now when you're watching commentary, and then they'll talk about things that have nothing to do with the match, or the price of the price of bread or whatever, but they're just talking about it, and it's just like trying to watch this match.
Yeah.
And they're talking about Twitter, or they're talking about this celebrity, or talking about this, and it's just like, I'm trying to watch this match. Bring it back to the match, So that's just me, though. So so for me, it's more just little aesthetics and things like that, as opposed to like any modes or any like gameplay or any things like that. But it's a lot of the stuff that you guys said did sound cool. I like the interaction of weapons and all of that. So yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so these were the top 5 things, or top 5 things that would definitely make you consider buying or buying 2K.